Hello, it's your boy She's Sweet from Philly, and I'm back to reviewing the top 250 most popular movies according to Letterboxd. So I kind of been out of sorts recently because life's been kind of annoying and the lack of motivation kind of hurts, especially when I'm exhausted all day. But I'm back, and I finally had the motivation to watch the third most popular movie on this list, and that movie is Dead Poet Society, which is a 1989 film. This is our first, not old film. I don't know what you define as old, but it felt like an old-ish movie to me. But this movie was interesting. That's all I'm going to say. But before we get there, all I'm going to say is... Wait, where's the sound? I swear I had it in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. I found it. By the way, if you're liking this video, please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Now, this movie's concept is pretty simple in my mind, where you have this insanely rich private school that is fostered upon four standards, which is tradition, discipline, I think it's honor, and it's excellence, right? And it's just like a elite school. But it's so strict to the point where no one is having fun. All they're really focused on is school and their futures. So then there's come this new English teacher, Mr. Keaton, who is the motherfucking GOAT. This guy is the GOAT. And when all the students get to that class, they're kind of in that sense where, oh, it's just another class, it's just this and this. But Mr. Keaton just reminds us all that we all have that one guy in our life where he might be gone maybe a year, maybe not even a year, maybe a few months after you see them. But that few months influence you as much as life can, to the point where you want to be free. And that's what he thinks about. He wants his class to be a free thinking. He wants them to not be bound to what they have. This movie emphasizes a lot about Carpe Diem, which Carpe Diem in my mind is the Phineas and Ferb song, if y'all know, Seize the Day. That's a W song in my mind. They're a great message for the movie to push, because I think a lot of people, they believe they're stuck in one line to the point where it's like, oh, this isn't fun, this life sucks, this and this. But as long as you seize the day and just not sit on your ass, you can make what you want possible. Like, nothing is impossible as long as you put your mind to it. That's what I got out of this movie. Now, my question, you might be thinking too, where does the Dead Poet Society come in? Well, here's the thing. Mr. Keaton was involved in the Dead Poet Society, where pretty much they just were sitting in a circle in a cave. They read poems to each other and had a blast the entire night. Which kind of emphasizes the point of seize the day, live for yourself, where I think this movie does a lot of saying, oh, what seizing the day actually means. Because seizing the day doesn't just mean, oh, you could throw away your life for the enjoyment. No, that's not what he meant. He meant that you have to make the most of every day, while at the same time you have to not sit on your ass and just be on a conveyor belt your entire life. You have to be a free thinker. Now, this movie is free thinking, bro. When I first heard that the guy was like, oh, we're free thinking, yeah, this movie's peak. So I personally, in terms of characters, I think the characters are fine. Nothing really too noteworthy in my opinion. I think Neil and Todd's character development throughout the movie, amazing. I think Charlie and Knox were good side characters for the movie, but nothing too crazy. I think Neil, Todd, and Mr. Keaton are the stars of the show. Mainly because Neil's character arc was fucking crazy. He went from this guy who, his dad is a piece of shit, can go to hell, and he stood up to him. Didn't stand up in the beginning, but at first he was like, oh, I can't stand up to my dad. I don't know what to do. And he's just stuck in that conveyor belt. Then Mr. Keaton tells him about the Dead Poet Society. He tells him about just free think. Just live your life. And he's kind of like, oh, I should live my life. And then now he's trying to stand up for himself, mainly because he wants to act in this play. And then he acts in it, and it's like, wow, what a good turnaround to his character. And then he just dies, because his dad is like, oh, about that play, yeah, you were dog shit, get the fuck out of my sight, and we are going to the military, where you are going to suffer. And I'm like, what? And then this kind of just brought me to a point where I was thinking oh, reality is not what it seems. Not everything's a happy ending. Sometimes you're just like, oh, even after that triumph and that climax, sometimes just parents don't want to buy into it. And then he just kills himself, and I'm like, I think Neil killing himself is easily the biggest shock of the movie, but it's not unexpected, in my opinion. It was a shock, but it wasn't unexpected. Mainly because, for me at least, I felt like if you're stuck in that trap, and your teacher, Mr. Keaton, is telling you, live your life, seize the day, be free. He doesn't want to be stuck in this conveyor belt where he is strapped down and can't move. He has to be strapped down and can't do anything about his life for the next 10 years, right? So he wants to be free, and that was his solution to being free. Not running away, not seeking help, not seeking shelter, shooting himself, ridding himself of his life and ridding himself of his family. Despite loving his mother, not much his father, more so his mother, and his friends too. You kind of just get that realization, it's like, damn, really? And like, not as strong. A lot of his friends, a lot of the other characters, they experienced similar notions, but more so a happy ending. Todd was more so. Todd had an interesting story. He didn't really change except towards the end, like the ending movie, like the last 5 minutes. But it was great to see. It was just great to see that all the characters just, they learned something from him. And in my mind, I like the movie. I think it's an enjoyable movie with a good message. However, and here's my however, I think this movie does struggle from lack of memorability. Because in my mind, without Mr. Keaton and without the suicide, I personally don't think this movie is fun, not memorable, if that makes sense. It's a fun sit through. I'm never gonna like say, hey, can we not watch this movie? I'm never gonna say that. But the thing with this movie is, it's a good movie, but it's not a movie where I'm gonna sit down and watch it ever again. That's just my opinion though. But I just think that when it comes down to it, I think memorability is one of the most important things when it comes with a movie. Like, I think this movie will stand out to people, man, because its message, Neil's suicide, all of that. However, I don't know if this is a pioneer for it, but this feels like the pioneer of not everything goes right for the person, if that makes sense. Maybe it might be this movie. I need to do a little more research on that. But this movie felt like one of those, not every ending's a happy ending, if that makes sense. I think that's probably the only thing that's going to stick in my mind. But honestly, I would personally say the first hour and a half is like really, it's a good, but it's not great. I think the last 30 minutes is great. So personally, I'm going to give this movie a 4 stars. I think it's a good movie. Do I think it's a great movie? That's debatable. I think it's a pretty good movie though, overall. And that's it for me. Like I said earlier in the beginning of the video, I am doing with life, so sorry if I'm not constantly uploading. But I'm going to upload more as I can, especially since I'm getting used to my schedule and I have a little more free time. So I'm going to try to post a little more, and we'll see what happens. But thank you for watching the video to the end, and if you want to see more from this, let me know, and I'll review any movie, any game, whatever. How it comes to mind. Anything. And thank you very much for watching. And till next time, bye bye.